Uh, but yeah, as at this part of the show, is discussing how we got to the fandom, how we found it, how we latched onto it, and how we now are not letting go of it for dear life. If it's I think is that a popper? Hello,
It is.
Hello.
there he is.
Hello.
But yeah, if it's all right with you gentlemen, I'll go first. If you're fine with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, yeah.
All right.
Sure, yeah.
So, for me, basically, I used to be at boarding school, so that was pretty much like my entire life centered around that. And when I was 17, after the first year of A levels, um, I got a call like I think it was like mid-August, basically, to like say what my results were and that they were coming in the post, and it was like abysmal. Like I'd done terrible. I think it was like 2 U's and 2 E's I had on my first year at A level. And I was basically given the choice, well, you can either like do 2 years on top of each other or drop out. That was literally the choice put like on me. And at the time, I didn't really have like a mobile phone. I didn't have any like numbers of my friends or anything or emails or anything like that. So I just literally lost contact with like everybody I knew. From there, I went to college where I started media and video editing, and it was around that time that I started to make like on my first YouTube channel, like small videos for YouTube, doing like Lion King AMVs, which were massive back in the early noughties. Like everybody was doing them. YouTube didn't care about copyright. It was just they were just everywhere, and that was the sort of stuff I was doing. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, that's basically people make their own animations based on the Lion King.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, and some of the videos, I'll be honest, I was proud of them. I mean, I'll probably look back on them now and go, oh god, what was I doing? But I didn't have like Sony Vegas like I do now. I was using Windows Movie Maker, for crying out loud. Wasn't really aiming to be the best of the best. But it was still fun. I still enjoyed it.
No one ever was.
For God's sake. Dun dun dun. I'm losing my chain of thought. Hang on. But no, it was still a load of fun, and from there, someone directed me towards a new website that popped up, which was literally a Lion King fan site, and I was one of the first like 20 members that signed up to it, and not long after that, I became a moderator and then an admin. I was there for like, God, I think it was like 7 years in total or something like that. But it was after a couple of years, just someone messaged me randomly, and just generally just asking how I was, things like that. And here's where the age will show. Added each other on MSN to chat, not Skype, not Discord, MSN, MSN. And the conversation ended up basically being like, oh, I've noticed you like these sorts of things, and you've got art of your character, like this sort of thing. Because one of the first artworks of Kivuli was a gift, from a friend who knew I liked sort of like kickboxing style stuff, and drew Kivuli in that style. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And this person, I hate the fact that I can't remember their name, were just talking about, it's like, have you heard of the furry fandom? And I was like, what's that? Like, I had no clue. And they just briefly explained, it's like, oh, it's just like a love of like animation, cartoons, and animals showing human traits called anthropomorphism. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. And he showed me just like general artwork of it, and it did catch my interest. And he's like, well, look, go to the site UK Furs and see if there's any local meetups. And see if you can go to one. I was like, all right, fair enough. So yeah, signed an account, and literally it was July 2009 that I went to my first meet. Now, The problem is, I was talking to the meat leader at the time, and his response was, right, if you're looking for somebody because it's your first meet, look for someone who looks like this. Didn't show a picture, just a description. Look for someone who looks like this, and with a girl who looks like this beside them. Yeah, that would have helped if they arrived to the meet on time, which they didn't. They were like an hour and a half late, at which point the meet had moved to the park. So I'm there. I'm nervous as hell because I'm not the extrovert back then as I am now. So I'm nervous as hell in the central station, just like looking around like and I just see this group of people that just looks a little like different, and I saw a couple of people with like lanyards on, but I didn't like see any like badges.
Why are you wearing t-shirts?
Say that again, sorry?
And even wearing t-shirts with wolves on them, like airbrushed wolves.
I think one person
when
did.
I go to, I go to meets and meeting up at the train station and things, then you usually look for people. There's usually at least one person who has a wolf on their t-shirt.
The three howling wolves of the moon. The stereotypical three wolves of the moon. Well, that's the thing. I was that nervous and scared, and like I said, I didn't know anything about the fandom. I didn't even think to look for stuff like that. I just thought that group of people just looks a little different, because none of them had like suitcases, like at all or anything like that. So it's like they're not going to a train or anything. So I literally had to summon up whatever courage I could muster, just to walk up, and I just turned to somebody who was like, "Excuse me, are you guys the Newcastle furries?" And then the guy's face like lit up and like, "Yeah, we are. Who are you?" And I was like, I'm Kivuli. This is my first meet."
God, that's...
No, it was like a very like kind way of doing it. You know the stereotypical like big bubbly personality like character. It was that. Like almost like.
Oh, okay, that.
Think Brian Blessed almost level, but not quite there. If Brian Blessed is 10, this person was like a 5, like a half Brian Blessed. And then I was like, "Oh, cool, awesome! Like, watch it for someone like stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh," because at the time Kivuli was a lion, so I said it was a lion. I was like, "Oh, we've got 3 other lions that are over here." It's just like immediately. And then that was it. It's like we went to the park because the weather was good. You know, we like kicked a ball around, played tag, just relax, and then went for like food and some drinks later. And I left there with like so like many new friends, and it's like, okay, eye opener much.
You don't tag like Diego in Ice Age.
Say that again. Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
You didn't play tag like Diego from Ice Age.
No. Did not do it that way. But that was basically it. And then a couple of years later, I went to my first Confuzzled, which I found out incidentally that the year I started the fur meets was the first year Confuzzled ran, I believe. Or was it the second year? It wasn't long after I joined.
If it was 2009, and it was second year Confuzzled.
Yeah, second year.
But yeah.
So I went to the third Confuzzled, and then that was it. I just fell in love forever. I was pretty much at every single fur meet. I was helping out where I could, and now 10 years? Oh God, 11 years. God's sake, I've been in this fandom for 11 years now. Jesus. Yeah. So now, 10 years later, I'm now running those fur meets, and that I don't have any regrets. I love this fandom. I'm going to be here to like die. There's, like, you have people say comments, "Aren't you a bit old for that?" No. I'm not too old to embrace being daft and stupid for several hours every single day. But that's basically how I got in the fandom and how I'm now stuck here. Who wants to go next? I'll nominate somebody if nobody volunteers to go next.
Did you say something there?
Yeah, I'm saying who wants to go next and tell their version.
Oh, shall I go next then?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I put it simply, I was introduced by a friend. It was a friend of mine at school around about A levels time, probably about the same time as yourself, Kivuli, 2008, 2009. Did
Yeah.
have an interest in animals, um, sort of gravitating towards hares, goats, birds of prey as well. Had a long-standing interest in those, and this was something which was shared with, I'd say, my best friend at the time at school. And it was him who mentioned it to me about this thing called the furry fandom. It's something which I found is quite a common pattern that a lot of people think, oh, having well, not just the interest in animals, because obviously there are a lot of people animal lovers
Yeah.
who have pet cats and dogs, who like Disney movies. Even a lot of people think that, but I think a lot of people get the sense that when they become teenagers, and certainly as they're becoming adults and they're growing up, coming of age, if you like, and they get the sense that that's kind of for children and only something that it's all right for children to like. And obviously, we know that that's not the case. But obviously, when you're a teenager and in many ways you're trying to fit in, if something like Disney movies or any liking things with animal and main character rather than humans, if that's seen as somewhat childish, and then people have some questions about it. But there's something which I myself and this friend of mine sort of had an interest in, and he was quite sad about internet culture at the time. So he was able to introduce me to this thing called the furry fandom. Kind of looked into it a bit more, and just got the sense that there's something which I particularly enjoy going along to. It was around about the time as I was coming towards the end of my A levels, so doing my A2s, getting ready to go to university. So quite lots of happening in my life, really. They just turned 18 as well. So thinking about university and settling in, moving completely to another part of the country, because as I mentioned in the storytelling, I'm from East Anglia. I moved up to Northeast England actually for university. And that was when I was up here that I myself went along to my first fur meet. I remember the date. It was Sunday, 7th of February 2010. It was actually strikingly similar circumstances to yourself, Kivuli.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned before.
That kind of situation, yeah. It was I moved away from home. Getting first sense of freedom. People into university, you're not under your parents' cosh anymore. You can go out and sort of explore these kind of things. Not being too much of a fan of what seemed like typical student parties, which a lot would roll around and drink. But this was something which my friend had shown me as we're getting towards the end of school, something which I was looking a bit more into kind of during my first term of university. I joined the UK Fur forums as well. I think they are still going, but that was this was way before Telegram, so it was very much the place to be.
I'm looking it up right now to see if UK Furs is actually still going.
Oh no, it is definitely still going. It still has an active user base, believe it or not.
Yeah, UKFur.org, it's
really?
still there.
Yep.
Yeah. Just to mention people in the chat saying about the suits, that was optional. Yeah, I didn't get a first suit probably about 5 years later into my time going to meets. But yeah, it's back in kind of back in 2010 was when I actually went to my first meeting. And so some similar kind of circumstances. Went on the train up to Newcastle Central Station, which was also my first meet. So happened to be. And as I said before, I was looking for the people. I wasn't quite sure what to look for, and saw some people that kind of didn't fit in really. There was someone wearing the wolf T-shirts, as I mentioned. Again, like I don't want to sound like I'm just repeating yourself, but it generally was for me a very strikingly similar scenario back in February 2010.
Yeah, you just out your depth entirely. It's just like maybe these people, I'm gonna try it and see what happens.
Yeah. So I went over. I remember the words I said. It was, "Are you by any chance the Northern Furs?" And they said yes. This moment there. Yeah. Yeah, and that was more or less at the start of it. Didn't actually get along to Confuzzled till 2013 because it always coincided with my university exams. So 2013 was the first year when I didn't have university exams, and I was actually free at that point. Yay! I can go to this hotel in random hotel by Motorway Junction in Leicestershire and spend time with crazy animal people.
Yeah, that seems to be the massive problem with CM is a lot of people can't go because university, and they just end up going just like, why?
It's been traditionally, but when people get a chance to go, then so
yeah, pretty much.
Yes, and as you're going along that process, really, it's realizing that there's more people who sort of think that way. Right from going for myself thinking I was going to be the only one, then realizing this fandom, but they only seem to be in America. I'm not sure if anyone else kind of got that sense, but that was kind of a stage that I went through. And then realized, they're in the UK as well. Oh, they're in Newcastle as well. They're trip away.
I kind of sort of had that a little bit, but obviously not so much because I was directly like pointed to the UK side, but it was literally a case of like, you realize like, oh, it's huge in America. Oh, there also want to be like little things in the UK, and it's like, no, wait, there's massive parties that happen in London. There's a couple of conventions going on, and wait, what do you mean we're all over the world? It's like mind blown. It wasn't just a small group of like idiots. It was just like, wait, hang on a minute, we're everywhere.
Oh yeah, certainly, yeah. The people say you're never more than 10 feet from a rat. I'm currently about half a foot away from a rat.
Less than 10 feet from a rat.
Yes.
10 feet.
Well, maybe Norway rat, but anyway, you're never more than 10 feet from one. But and similar, it seems like you're never more than 10 feet from a fur. And pretty much anywhere you go around the world, you'll find them. I've got friends all over Switzerland, Latvia. One Easter Sunday, I randomly ended up in won't say the town because they might give it away.
Yeah.
But a random town in Yorkshire, just end up there on Easter Sunday, just kind of up there, nothing to do, and messaged a friend, and do you want to come and hang out? Yeah, we went for lunch, and we looked around the town, and it was
because why not?
A great thing. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look at me. My best friend lives in Australia. It's just like, yep, that's how far it reaches.
Yeah, we're around the world, back again.
Around and back again, a fairy tale by Wild North. Is that the end of your tale then, Silverley?
More or less. It's just kind of things kind of just develop from there. Started helping out with different events, helping out at Confuzzled, at Eurofurence with different meets. Being like an organizer for meets for quite some time, and moving up here and to being involved with Wild North, and I love it, and the amount of people I've met. The first convention I went to, it was Eurofurence in 2011. I actually heard people say like the best folk are furry folk, and that was true nearly 10 years ago, and it's true now.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
On that.
Yeah, I have to agree with that 100%. It's like, I've never met more nicer people than other furries. Like, I just haven't. It's just that simple. Like I'm pretty sure my entire friendship circle now is just furries.
I'm pretty sure mine has. Including, I'll say, the friend who introduced it to me, because I think this, I wasn't aware at the time because he went up to a different university, but he was a fur as well at the same time. And I didn't even realise that until I got a few years later. I knew he was so internet savvy and knew about different subcultures online. So it made sense that he would know about this. It's like, oh, hey, Silverley, this is something that you're interested in. You're interested in animals, cartoons, and things. And so he's just introducing that to me as a friend. Turns out that that was something which she currently But this friend of mine was interested in as well, and they didn't even realise that.
Yeah.
And until a few years, so they pretty much all my friends, yeah, are first.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a small world.
If anyone else wants to record a story, then yeah, I'm happy to let them.
Well, if that's the end of your tale, Popper, would you like to go next?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start.
Sorry, I've just put you on the spot. It's like, it's your turn.
Alright, I don't mind. I'll start. So yeah, my story, funny enough, begins around the same time period. Except, yeah, I'm not kidding. It would technically start around like 2007, 2008, but instead of it being A levels, it was actually starting off like GCSEs.
Oh god.
So, I think there's a little bit of a setup. So I was pretty active, like on the internet, active like searching the internet since 2006, and I was a huge video game fan. My parents and probably sister can attest to like how much I would talk video games and how I'd have all the video games in my process. I was a huge video game fan, so I always went onto those forums, and somewhere along the way that led me to getting like a real heavy fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, and it was and I just got really into fan art for Sonic the Hedgehog and fan-made videos. And DeviantArt had a lot of very well drawn fan art, and I just went on to finding different other sites, and somehow I ended up going to Firm Affinity through one of the art profiles. So that was basically just how I discovered furry fandom. From then, I just rediscovered they were doing fan arts for Pokemon, which I watched a lot of as a kid, and Digimon I also watched a lot of as a kid.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of us did. Yeah,
cartoons.
Like Digimon, Pokemon, Sonic. I think anything like that. Like people of our generation. That's what initially piqued our interest. Initially.
Beast Wars. not regular child. Beast Wars. Optimus Primates.
Yeah.
So I joined the Affinity. I believe on the account says February 2008. So that was I guess that was the point when I just basically went I guess I'm a furry now if I've got this account. So although I'd say I was.
Have I shut everything down? I was just wondering, does anyone else have a moment where they realise, oh yeah, I'm a furry now?
Yeah, the end of my first meet.
Oh, right, okay. For me, it was seeing and I'm quite interested in this. I'll tell you guys what it is later.
Okay.
But yeah, but
I'm not going to mention it.
Yeah, for the first 2 years or so, I was pretty much just I guess the word for it would be a lurker. So I would just go around the websites, I'd find any furry I liked, and fave them, maybe comment here and there, but I wouldn't really get really involved in the fandom, partly because I had this assumption that it was just an American thing, because it was almost always these Americans from different states, and I heard them talking about some American conventions. It wasn't until I actually just transferred over into sixth form when I made a new friend who I was in a because I was in a secondary school where basically almost everyone went to the same sixth form because it was owned by the same organization. But there was this one newcomer who came from Kenilworth, and named Alan, and he just immediately went into our friendship group. And I can't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I just heard him just inexplicably say like, Sunday I want to go to Anthrocon," and no one else knew what it was, but I just remembered I've heard of Anthrocon, and I just basically said, "Alan, are you a furry?" and he just the most casual way just said, "Yeah, are you?"
Are you a furry?
And I just had to do this awkward moment. I was like, I'm a kind of a furry. I know of it. I go on the websites and all that. But just having that friend just kind of, I guess, eased me a lot more into it because it's not far from then to decide to make my persona, OD, which I remember particularly drawing like not long after watching The Cat Returns for like the God knows how many times. I then actively went on to a artist live stream from an artist based in Manchester, actually, and just regularly when he did his streams weekly, and I would just join in. I just commission a sketch drawing, chat with the other regulars there, and we just ended up becoming good friends from then. And then it was sometime early 2011. The artist I was following, he made a post saying that he got a dealer's den table at this convention called Confuzzle, and I remember actually. I remember just one that I just remember just browsing the website, and then on the other furry friend I had, he just looked over my shoulder and said, what's this?" And I said, "Oh, this is Confuzzle. What's Confuzzle?" It's this furry convention that's happening in Manchester," and he just and his eyes wide, jaw drop. "Wait, there's a furry convention happening in the UK?" "Yes." "There's a furry convention happening in Manchester?" "Yes." "Tim, we have to go. We have to go right now." He was serious. He was serious. He was adamant about this. He said, "When you get home, you register, I'll register, we're going to go together, we're going to have a good time." I'm like, "Okay."
Which Confuzzle was it? Which one was your first one? Because like I said, mine was the third.
It was the fourth, Confuzzle 2011. It was Manchester Hotel.
The Which Hotel, you broke up a little bit there.
It was 2011, the Britannia Hotel.
Yeah, the last year at the Britannia when it was absolutely boiling hot.
Yeah, and I think it was what was it? One shy of 500 were there in attendance.
Not including the normal people there as well.
Wait, there were normal people? I thought we took over the entire hotel.
No, there were still some normies.
Go for casual holiday or going for a flight later, and then suddenly you're surrounded by all these.
Yes, we're going to have a lovely weekend, stay at this hotel, and have a round of golf. What the hell are all these animals doing here? Anyway, sorry, Popper, continue on.
Here's a bit. So here's the thing I can puzzle. Zeke, Silverley, you know how you said that you couldn't always attend Confuzzle because of the university exams?
Yes.
Well, I mean, technically I couldn't attend the entire course because I was still in A levels, and so I still had classes on Monday and Friday. Although, one thing I don't really tell people that much is that I actually had to skip school in order to attend Friday.
I don't think your teachers are listening right now, so I think you're all right.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the chat message in like the Twitch chat to go. I knew it.
I did. Yeah. Although no one else seems. Funny enough, no one else seemed to be phased by that. I don't know I don't know if the teachers ever reacted to it. I never got in trouble for it. I mean the idea of me just the idea of me just traveling like so long away, so like miles away to go to the station was actually like not for me, because I've been doing that since I was 14, 15 with a gaming convention. But yeah, literally, it was literally like I just took the train. I just took the train to Manchester Piccadilly. My sister was a student at Manchester University at the time. She was kind enough to pick me and my friend up and take us over to the Britannia Hotel. And I didn't know that many people there. Of course, I knew this artist. I knew who was attending. Well, named Snack Cat. But just like just walked around, like enjoy the panels, we enjoyed the fursuit walk. Although I did end up like turning in the wrong direction and ended up being trapped among several fursuiters on the balcony.
Oops.
To this day, I tried finding a group photo. I tried to find one of the fursuit group photos where I could be seen from the balcony, but I failed to do so. But I did find a Big Blue Fox does his continuing videos and did one for Confuzzle. I was looking through them recently, and in a section on the furry nightclub, there were two fursuiters dancing side, and down in the middle was me, just standing by the banister, my arms folded. I was just this moment. Oh my god, that's what I looked like back when I was 18.
Yeah, there's stuff like that as well. Like I felt like the second Confuzzle I went to, which was again the first year you went, was when I went like the first time sponsor, and I went for like the whole length, as well. So it was my first dead dog. That was one of the only times I have been properly drunk. Like, I'll be honest, it's one of the only times in my life. And the joke theme going around, there's always something that pops up at the con that just sticks for the entire thing. That was the year Jerusalem was sung. Like, anytime something was happening, someone's broken out and singing Jerusalem. And it's on BBF's video, so if someone wants to go look up the fourth Confuzzled, somebody at the end of BBF's videos, you will see me and Code Wolf arm in arm, drunkenly singing each other Jerusalem.
Code Wolf. He's always good for a laugh.
What was funny is the next morning, obviously everyone's like dragging themselves out because either they're tired, hungover, both hungry, God knows what else. And I just see him almost like half slumped in a chair, and I'm just like, "You okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just tired." Like, he's just out of it. And I see next to him, because this is the year where sponsors got like proper American Mountain Dew over, and he had some bottles of Mountain Dew next to him, and I was like, "Oh, look at that Mountain Dew!" And he's just like, "Hey, if you want a couple of bottles, they've got to go. 3 bottles in the bag, right? I've got a train ride home."
Fair enough. I was going to make a suggestion now.
So,
if
yeah, let Popper finish. Let Popper finish first.
Well, I'll just say, actually, the main highlight for me for that first Confuzzle, it was on a Sunday, and I was just like sitting around the lobby with my friend, and these two furries just came up and just sat sat with us. I think one of them just recognized a badge that I had bought from the dealer's den at the time, and we just got chatting. And then it was their name were Lays and Hyperific. Great guys. I'm still good friends with Lays to this day. I still try to see what Hyper does every now and then. Yeah, we were chatting and then just looking at the schedule and realized, oh, what event do you want to go to next? Oh, there's this thing called Frankenseeds. Do you want to check that out? Sure, why not? Ended up being the best event because it was so hilarious. Just seeing people really making these costumes out of scraps and look to see just how amazingly bad they were. Personal favorite was the one that they named the Microguard 3000 because that was a name they found on a manual somewhere.
Yeah,
and, but it was just like a huge monster with beach balls for eyes. We just couldn't stop laughing.
Frankenstein is definitely one of the good ones.
I do miss Frankenstein. I'm not sure why. Why they. I don't remember them doing it for the last 2-3 years of Confuzzled.
I'm sure it has been. I'll double check because I'm part of that team, so I can double check.
Yeah, look into it.
I mean, I'll probably miss in the schedule because the schedule for Confuzzles now is just so crammed with stuff.
Well, Miku's just hit the nail on the head. Miss it because something else is going on. Like there's something else that's got my attention. Z, you said you had a suggestion.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, noticed that while I've been speaking, there've been a couple of messages from people, kind of giving their own experience and things of how they got into the fandom. So, might be worthwhile sort of highlighting some of those things. And I don't know if there's any questions which we're able to maybe answer. Might be an idea to sort of bring people into this, and at least
go ahead.
What they're commenting, because we've been speaking about ourselves, but obviously everyone else has their experience as well, and we want this to be kind of a collaborative thing. So just to have a look at what people are saying.
Yeah, I'll scroll up and read them out. That's always cool. Let's see the first one. Where's the first one? First mention Revy. Sorry, did you say something there, Zeke?
You go ahead. You say about Revy.
Yeah, it's the first I'm going to mention about con stuff. So saying I went to 2 cons and a local meet last year. Only just managed to get myself out to do anything physically. Didn't have anything suit related. It's definitely optional. Yep, 100%. So if anyone is in this chat thinking you have to have a suit to enjoy a convention, or if anyone tells you that, slap them. Because you do not need a suit to enjoy a convention.
No, you don't.
I've got one. Well, sorry, I've got a couple, but out of an entire weekend, bear in mind, Confuzzle's a week long now. If you go for the full thing, I may be lucky to get 3, maybe 4 hours of suit time because I'm just too busy doing other stuff.
And then you're volunteering as well, so
I'm not even volunteering now. I'm actual staff. I'm full staff now.
You enjoy that, yeah. But yeah,
well,
obviously we're talking about we've been here for how many years, and you've got some newer people in the chat as well, and their comments as well. So saw Dragon Bannon, for example, say not been to physical con or meet either. We're all hoping that normality resumes, or some kind of normality resumes fairly soon, so we can join. So yeah, every meet. I'll say that every meet I've gone to, I've never regretted going. Even if I know I've had a busy week with work, university, whatever. When it comes to Saturday or Sunday, I get on that train, I go and see those people. Every time, for 10 plus years I've been going to meets, I've never regretted. I've always enjoyed going along to that. I'm wondering from the name whether you're from the Isle of Man, Ellen Bannon. or whether you just took that name because you like it. So maybe more difficult for you, but hopefully you get the chance to come along at some point in the future. And yeah, wherever you end up, it would be great to see you there.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
you'd be welcomed, I'm sure.
Always nice to meet you people. Yeah, Dragon Band, like I said, just saying, like, hopefully get back to normality soon, fingers crossed. I mean, we've already had the message, unfortunately, Confuzzled is putting the registration on the back burner, which is, a shame, but understandable, so fingers crossed for that. Just a comment there from Turbo Tales to you, Popper. Sonic is how many of us got into being furry. Probably not wrong. Nitrax.
I'm not too surprised.
Say that again. Sorry.
I just said I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Nitrax accidentally discovered it back in 2006 via Sims 2 mod and thought nothing of it.
Okay, that's new.
Not heard that one before. Introduction.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Miku's original OC was inspired by Digimon. Did not know that, which is kind of cool.
So I think people do make their own Digimon, like they would fit in the program. And we found that cute hyena one, didn't we? And someone, yeah, Crocutamon.
Yeah.
Yes, the name for hyena. Yes, found that a little while ago. Someone basically has drawn all the Digivolutions, right from when it's the little baby to like the rookies are really cute to like this kind of bigger kind of like almost like African deity kind of ultimate form. And so it was great that people can bring that kind of creativity. To the shows that they like and kind of develop them further.
The one thing I've noticed though, and maybe I've just not really picked it up, but in terms of like sonas, I know people who have Pokesonas, like Pokemon personas, as like their main thing. I've not met somebody who has a Digimon main persona. Like they'll have it as a character.
I think some.
I know. I've seen like one or two that like base their personas on Renamon.
Yeah,
Well,
Renamon,
very bait, but that's a conversation for a different time.
They're not more werewolves.
Yeah, where's like the 100,000 Wegarurumons OCs? Where are they?
Where are they? Take me there now.
Metal Greymon, he's all right. Wegarurumon, boy.
Shooting puppy. You should explain as well. Kivuli, myself, and a couple others. We recently introduced Tyde to Digimon. We saw the original run. He hadn't. So just some of the craziness in the whole show. It's maybe the first time they show you Metal Garurumon, and he shoots all these missiles out of his body.
Missile
the
puppy.
poor rat didn't know what he wanted.
Yeah, it was one of those ones. The jaw dropped and was slowly going up and down. The hands were in the air. The eyes were squinting, just like, what?
I suppose he's a werewolf, and then he's some sort of robot tank wolf.
Yeah, that's Digimon. That you've just summed up Digimon.
Yeah. Old.
No,
the music is later.
Yeah. What are the stories we've got here? Toffee Dog. I was already into furries for many years, but didn't know how to like and follow furries, so when I met my now fiance and he became my handler, he invited me to my first fur meet. So 2 years officially as Dawn the Digger next April. That's awesome. So you found it via your other half. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Alex Fly got into it because of Sonic, Lion King, and Star Fox. Pretty and art scene. Yeah. Papa, you have you have a kindred spirit in that one, I think. It was the art scene that drew you to it. But yeah, we had a message from the dog and cat shelter again partway through that saying they've been popping in and out of the stream and they love hearing all the stories and how it started for us all. Because it is
awesome.
It is nice to hear about it. It's nice and different. Furry Phoenix, it was YouTube.
Have you seen anything about?
What?
No, I'm not going there again.
What? Hang on, what just happened? what
Tobias Barker. I thought his reaction to Etemon was better. He's currently laughing.
Yes, Monkey Rockstar.
He's not just laughing, he's going hyena type laugh at the moment. His alternative form is hyena. So yes, and that's sort of emerging as we reminisce on Elvis Monkey.
Monkeying
I
around.
should have said that. So why do you like to make him do it as well?
I can hear him yelling in the background.
Actually, they're all more powerful than everyone, aren't they?
Anyway.
Already. Anyway.
Fluffy Phoenix, YouTube DeviantArt, animations, and maybe a bit of Warrior Cats for me. Interesting.
What's Warrior Cats?
Oh, I'm sure I know what it is. I've heard it before. I can't pin it though. No, I can't.
I'm not sure either.
To Google. I mean, you mentioned Warrior.
There's people looking it up now.
Oh right, it's a novel series. It's a book series. Looks like a very nice book series as well.
Apparently, Coffee Dog says.
What was that again? Sorry.
Coffee Dog says it's like Game of Thrones with cats. Okay, well that paints a picture.
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Look at all these stories, man.
Something for those who aren't to look into, maybe.
Revy again. I joined as part of the fandom years ago, around the same time I was at uni. It helped me hugely to keep myself a bit more grounded with support and sense of belonging. I just never had it anywhere else. But I couldn't really do anything in person because of confidence and anxiety issues until recently, unfortunately. Yeah, which is such a shame, bro, because you came to a couple of meets before this lockdown happened, and it was your first couple of times, and then pandemic, yay. But I promise you, as soon as it is safe and able, the local meets are coming back.
I mean, I can empathize with Faye's helping with like sense of belonging and meeting new people, because I remember first time at university, all of my friends at sixth form all went to different universities, so I basically had like no one there to really talk to and get along with. But sometime not long after Freshers Week, I was just asking around for like if there were any furries in Stafford, and a couple replied, including one that basically said, "Oh yeah, you're a student at the university, right? I'm going to meet up with a bunch of friends in Birmingham. Do you want to join?" And I just said, "Okay." So yeah, we met up. Went to my first coffee meet in Birmingham, which I have been going to ever since, once every fortnight, and at least until the lockdown. But I ended up getting finding a lot of my local friends, particularly friends around the Midlands and the Birmingham area, because of the furry fandom.
Though you do miss going on to those, because I used to live in Solihull, which is 20 minutes from Birmingham. I do used to miss meeting up with you guys each fortnight. Went along to like Starbucks and then to the pub as well, just for some food, and yeah, just for a chance to catch up with first and have that as kind of a regular thing. That was really nice, and you have this like local group that you can catch up with, and like on a more casual basis as well, because obviously you've got the meets as well, so, and everything's like all activity, and there's fursuits, and there's music and drinks and things, but this was more casual meet up, get some foods, maybe some coffee beforehand. So it's great to see basically the variety of different ways that people can get involved in this. Everything right from Midwest Fur Fest with 10,000 people, right down to what we do to meeting your furry friends and for food and drink. It's just great that there's so many opportunities to meet such great people.
Yeah, It's like so diverse. That's what I'm saying. What we planned Wild North to be different, like
Yeah.
to like go about a different way, which is one of the things I wanted to come on is just to explain to people how exactly did Wild North start. I think I'll hand this over to you, Silverley, because you're the one that initially had the idea, I believe. So basically, what led to it, and then I'll pitch in with how I got involved.
Okay, so I'm trying to think where to start.
Beginning's always
Honestly,
good.
I've been coming to yes for quite a long time at that point. It's about 2018. Yeah, 2018. Yeah. So I was living in the northeast of England. I then moved around a couple of times to Wales and to the West Midlands. I then came back up to this part of the world. But really fortunately for me, because I still had a lot of friends from time when I was at university and people living locally as well. So I already knew quite a lot of people. And so it was quite easy to kind of make those connections again and to meet up with them. Also, we have the meets locally, but um, also I'm kind of the idea of wanting to do something a little bit different. Because I know we mentioned at the start, or Kivuli mentioned at the start, the hotel-based conventions. There's Confuzzle, there's ScotiaCon up in Scotland as well. It is these hotel-based events as well, which are great. So lots of people love them, but um, in terms of wanting to do something a little bit different, did actually quite take a lot of inspiration from events which they have over on the continent. One which I went to in particular just before I moved up here. It's called Harkon, and that basically it involves meeting up in this hostel. It's in the middle of the countryside in Germany. So about 2.5 hours walk outside the nearest town. So I had some friends over there in Germany, went over to see them to this event. They go along every year. I've only been the once. But just and generally in terms of the whole atmosphere of it, it was a smaller thing. There are only about 50, 60 people. It was a completely self-catered thing, and everything was just really relaxed. So we had like barbecues in the nights. Everyone was helping out with kitchen duty, so we each took turns in the kitchen. There just little events going on. They had a little market of people brought little plushies and art and things to sell, which cartoons in the evening. Got some fire pits going at night as well, and it was like a really relaxed atmosphere. And in terms of different events, or events which are different in this country. I know there are one or two. There's a couple of camping trips and things, but had a feeling that something which, particularly with my friends, thought that would be good to do, especially up here in the northeast of England, because once you get out to like Northumberland and bits of County Durham, there's some like really beautiful countryside as well. And so, in terms of giving people a chance to kind of get away and kind of some inspiration from what Wolffire and Five Funken, my friends over in Germany, what they were putting together, felt that was something which could certainly work, especially sort of bringing on sort of the and drawing on the British history that we have as well. Some of the great countryside we've got up here, some of the history and heritage they have going on here, and right from the Romans with Hadrian's Wall all the way up to the present day. It just seems kind of right to have something which, at least with myself and some of my friends, that we could just get together for a weekend and relax, and have a different kind of furry event, really.
I say it certainly grew from there, from the initial concept. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember it was you came, like both of you came to me, asking about like helping out with it, and I loved the idea. Like I was immediately like, oh yeah, like definitely I'm like 100% in for this. And like I said, the very first one, it was literally just like a sort of like feeler idea, like just test it out to see how it would work. So while it is technically the first Wild North, it was just like us three, and then a bunch of like friends that were interested. but it was still a proof of concept. It still went down as a con. We still ran it sort of similar, like, right, everyone needs to pay their way sort of thing, and there's goodies involved and everything like that. And I still remember how fun it was.
I just
Sorry, go ahead.
I basically just remember just being in London for a summer party when you, Silver, and Widget and just found me and started talking to him a bit, and he just basically said, "Hey, so we're doing this thing up in the north of England where a bunch of us are going to be just spend a weekend at a bunkhouse. Do you want to join us?" And I just thought, yeah, that just sounds fun. Haven't been that far up north. Get the car, go on a road trip. Just thought we'd have a good time, and yeah, it definitely was a good time up in Chat Hill.
Yeah, it was just a ton of fun, and it was fun just like shooting, like, I suppose you call it the promotional video for it, when we were just going around different locations and getting like the video shots. A shame we couldn't do it for like last year, just because I just think we just weren't focused on it, and I completely forgot to even mention it for last year's con.
Well, we moved into a new venue, and we moved into the castle for the first time last year, so there are quite a lot of things to think about. Best way to make use of the space we've got. And that was when people like Greskel and Gavdorf would bring like different musical equipment. So there were other things to think about.
Yeah, there was like it was like the same concept, but it was just like a million other things we had to consider. Like the biggest one for me, of course, is just like, how do I feed these people? That was the big one. It was like, how do I do this?
I wasn't sure what I signed up for when you said you wanted people to help you in the kitchen.
Hey, you could have stepped away at any time. I would have just been very disappointed.
And we would have been...
Honestly, the day after that last year's Wild North, when we visited Beamish, and the members of the company that were with us, and they saw the Arga in the old sort of...
Yeah, so a couple of things to explain there. Yeah, the cast has an Arga for cooking on, first of all, and when you mention Beamish, it's open air museum. That's if people are in the Midlands, you may be familiar with the Black Country Living Museum. It's kind of similar concept to that, but about 5 times bigger. It just charts history of how people farmed in times gone by, like the Industrial Revolution, the Victorian times, the Victorian town. It's all like reconstructed houses and things have been moved there, people in costumes, and it's just a really great place. You've got to spend an entire day there, just finding out how people used to live in the north of England, like the history of the mining as well, history of the farming, and we have that as a optional post-con trip. We've done that the past couple of years. We just all kind of decamp there, head over to County Durham, and have a relaxed day where the cook team don't have to cook and just enjoy fish and chips.
Yeah.
And one of the houses that you walked through as part of the museum had a classic Arga. And it was literally just seeing that one after having spent so much time in front of the castle one that weekend. It was like...
Yeah, I basically
There was a photo of us like grieving at the sight of his Arga.
Because I basically lived in the kitchen. It was like, I got up in the morning, I got showered, and then I just didn't leave the kitchen, basically.
Sorry, cat.
Oh God. Oh,
yeah. And Tobias is correct there as well. Yeah, he has a point, I should say, about no Beamish and chips this year. That being
I want to dab in chips now.
Particular.
Sorry, did you say dab?
He didn't just say dab. He dabbed.
Yeah, Reaper got mobbed at the at Beamish because of the little red panda plushie. I completely forgot about that.
It was a hand puppet, wasn't it? Like a two-hand.
Yeah,
it was.
What hand there?
But oh God, I just remember because like I don't think one of us that were on the cook team had actually really like used an Arga before, so it was trying to work it out. Again, just to clarify exactly how the Argo like works with people. So there's constant like sort of like hot plates that are always on. Like the Argo is always on, and you just do not turn it off unless you really, 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 really have to. And then it has like little like oven spaces. There's no like direct fire in them, but they're all like hot ovens that you can slow cook things in. And but one of the highlights, but I suppose you could say it was like a quote unquote disaster as well, is I had the smart idea of, hang on, why don't we make our own like little crispy potato chips? So we sliced up the potatoes, salted them up, and we put them in the Arga and started to cook the rest of dinner. And out of 5 people, we all forgot about the potato chips. Until I remembered. I opened the Arga, and we didn't have potato chips anymore. We had charcoal chips.
Oh my god, the size of them.
And then some dumb idiot decided to take a bite out of it. But no, it was definitely lessons learned, like 100%. So next time Wild North happens, looking at ways to just streamlining everything, because, like I said, I practically just lived in the kitchen, and between say like the cleanup of like breakfast and the start of prep for lunch was an hour, maybe 2. So the entire cook team was basically just in the kitchen, like continuously. Yeah, honestly, it's been mentioned Miko like doing shifts and everything like that, expanding the team and rotating it around. Toby has the charcoal chips somewhere. Yeah, I think a couple of people have a picture of the charcoal chips. But no, there's definitely more people I'd like to get involved with the cooking. Definitely people have more experience of it.
And you can certainly speak to Kivuli about it, so I reckon you could.
Yeah. Obviously, don't mention it like now because we don't know what's happening with Wild North next year yet. But certainly along the line when the ideas open back up, I'm always happy to talk about it. Yeah, Toby's got the picture of the charcoal chips. Yeah, post it in the Discord or the Telegram chat, either one, because it was just hilarious.
Yeah.
We felt like such idiots.
Yeah. Also, because someone's mentioned in the chat as well, because obviously things are a little bit uncertain about next year, but it was mentioned the website as takeaway run. That is a possibility for something which we're thinking about. So, yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Alex, by UK. It's a possibility for next year.
Yeah, it's something. It's something we were looking at already for this year. So it is definitely something we're going to look at for carrying over next year as well, 100%. Also, in terms of funny pictures, I'm going to have to dig this one out. Popper, what are you?
Oh god, what? Oh god, not the idiot sandwich, not.
Yeah, so for those, I'm sure a lot of people here know the Gordon Ramsay meme, what are you, an idiot sandwich with the 2 slices of bread around the chef's head. I may have done that with Popper, but instead of just slices, I used 2 loaves. I need to find that picture somewhere. It's probably buried in the depths of my phone or somewhere.
I was wondering if you had that ready to go.
I don't.
We can wait. We can wait.
It is somewhere in the depths of my phone.
I know one kitchen highlight was actually to do with the barbecue. Basically, trying to get the fire started, and then we had, one of us had the brilliant idea. Let's just close the barbecue and let the fire build up. And then someone else said, "Hey, maybe you should open up the barbecue to let the fire out." Okay, sure then. Huge fireball just right up.
Yeah, hello. Guess who was the one that opened the barbecue? Because responsibility.
My eyebrows.
I remember that.
No, my eyebrows were fine. My eyebrows were fine. My right arm, the hairs got tiny bits of singed.
I remember that one got on video. I think it was Muddy Fox that recorded the video.
Yeah, they actually got the video of it. They didn't see the after effect, but they got the whoosh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. But again, the barbecue was like, it felt like such like a letdown. Because I remember when we went to initially view the place, there was literally like a half like oil drum barrel cut open, massive grill on top. It was like, that's perfect. And then we go there for the con, it's not there. It's like, oh.
Had to improvise.
Well, there was a barbecue, wasn't there?
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as good, though.
Yeah. It was hidden at the back.
Also, that's...
They took a tiger around to find it.
That's what Tibbs has mentioned.
That's kind of the nature of it.
Tibbs just mentioned about music. I forgot to ask. Is the music coming through the stream? Because I have turned it back on.
Not at the moment.
No, I can't hear it.
I am going to have to turn that up 2 moments. Okay, because for some reason it's set like way down low for some reason. Oh, a minute, let me bring that back. There we go. Yeah, does someone just let me know if the ratio to our voices and the music is off? I will can adjust it. I don't know why, but that was like literally like low. Like, I can slightly hear it, but I guess that nobody else could. I do apologize. This would be a lot better now. Yay, learning curves! Because as we discovered, I can hear everything crystal clear because I've got these headphones on, so I hear everything regardless. But you guys don't hear it as clearly as me. So,
I hear all.
Right, Silvio says it's pretty good now. Okay, yay! We've got music again. It should have been here an hour ago, but oh well. Oops. Alright, let me chalk that one up to con blunder. Hey, it wouldn't be a very good...
No one will hold you to task.
Hey, it wouldn't be a convention if something didn't go wrong. Though it wouldn't count this as going wrong, it's just a slight error. Charcoal Pitcher is now on Discord. Charcoal Pitcher is now on Discord. I've got to see it. Where is it? Where is it? Yep, there they are. Oh my god.
Oh, aren't they beautiful?
Oh, that's amazing. Perfection.
Makes everything fine.
So if everyone wants to know what the collective culinary skills of the cook team was, that like summed it up. No, honestly, we were better than that. That was just literally, we were just so focused on cooking dinner, we just forgot. Like, entirely.
It's got one thing, like 10 other things going.
Yeah, we were honestly, god, that kitchen got chaos at times. Like,
but that's the way it is with kitchens, and you know, particularly with kitchens, like hotels and things. It does get like that. It was kind of my principle that there were other things for me to look at, and whoever's in the kitchen would just let you get on with it.
Yeah, it's like if I'm cooking, like if we're cooking, do not come in the kitchen. that was like pretty much the steadfast rule.
That's just the nature of kitchens, of big kitchens when you're mass catering. It's the nature of it. Like I worked in like nursing home and social care as well. Not on the kitchen team, but you get the sense that if things happen in the kitchen, leave the kitchen team, leave like the head chef to direct things. You get on with them. I don't know, like making sure that the falconers have enough mice for their hawks and things.
Yeah. Toffee Dog is saying we could do a range of charcoal chips. Yes, this is paprika charcoal chip. Cheese and onion charcoal chip. Perfect for dragons.
Tiger
What was that, Rat?
crispy tiger flavour charcoal chip.
Oi. Yeah, because let's not forget the one first aid incident as well.
Oh, yeah. I was really pleased, yes, that of the entirety of the event last year, there was only one thing that went in the accident book.
Yeah, it was me! Yeah, so just to explain to people what happened here, I don't think it was the same night as the charcoal chips. I think it was like a different one. But we were just like getting stuff sorted and prepped, and I reached over to grab a pan off the oven that was there, and I don't know how it happened because it was clear entirely of any heat, but I grabbed the handle and just like the palm of my hand, so it's completely gone now, but literally like all around there was just burnt and scarred, like entirely. Like I'd got a proper burn, as in like, yeah, hand underwater for like 10 minutes sort of thing, get some like afterburn cream on. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah, I refuse to leave my post. I still cook with my good hand. Or at least I directed.
Also, who was the first?
What was that, sorry?
Who was our first aider as well?
Me.
First aider.
Your first aider was the one that got the injury.
Vision, heal thyself.
Lay on hands. I cast Cure Wounds.
Or the accident book. Person responsible for health and safety. Kivuli. Person the injury happened to. Kivuli.
Hey, at least it wasn't anybody else. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, thank you that one. We're happy for you to take one for the team in that regard.
I mean, what else am I gonna do? Oh, no, it was really good last year. It just sucked that like we planned archery as well, and it rained. Damn it!
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, looking at the weather outside, yeah, kind of glad we didn't plan archery again this year. Because it wouldn't have gone ahead again, I think.
It's a little bit grey here.
It's the wind. It's the wind more than anything else. You can't shoot an arrow in that. He'll come back and hit you. Oh, can you imagine trying to play Cub in this?
Oh.
Oh God, Cub.
You're not.
That's the good thing, though.
Cub already goes on forever without the wind.
Can you imagine trying to hit anything in this wind? In fursuit?
You just need to practice. Actually, you've got an extra year to practice, so this time or next time there'll be no excuses.
Yeah, those of you coming to one if you've got a year to practice.
All you wanted to practice, Carl, the important thing is to practice throwing your sticks at king. In this case, the only king we have in the vicinity is King Kivuli, so...
No! I will throw them. I will either throw them back or chase you down and beat you. I watched Sasha's sword display. I know what to do.
He knows how to wield his sword now.
I know what to do as well. I run away.
Someone cast fireball and nuke the rat.
Again.
Yeah, again. Maybe I'll get him this time.
Myers says he couldn't be worse in this weather than he was in suit last time. You hit a few things last time, Toby.
Yeah, we were on the team together. We came second.
Yeah, Toby, you're surprisingly good in fursuit.
What you were doing, but it was fine.
Yeah. It worked. What can I say?
Oh dear. When Bows and Queries are wheeled out, Servio says the Archers theme starts playing.
I just have no words. I've got nothing. In fursuit, you can hide your tears if you fail. Oh.
You're always smiling, aren't you? This is the saddest. It's like Lenny gets a plastic surgery. This is the worst day of my life.
This is the worst day of my life.
But yeah, fingers crossed for next year, definitely. It would be nice to.
It's all booked, obviously, on the what happens with regards to the pandemic, and hopefully things resolve more or less by then. But yeah, it's booked in for next year for last week in September 2021. Spoken with the venue, spoken with the insurers. So everything's just they've all been very good to us to just transfer everything to next year. I think leniency and like flexibility. Everyone's having to be more flexible at this time.
It's kind of a word for everybody, especially in sort of the holiday industry, as it were,
Hospitality.
Yeah, hospitality. That's a word I couldn't think of a second ago.
I suppose the way you can look at it, especially with the gentleman that runs Verstone Castle, is the way he sees it. He's got essentially, if things can run ahead, a guaranteed booking for next year, which a lot of places aren't going to get because people are still going to be on edge about doing things like going away and things like that. So to him, that's something that's good. It keeps the castle running and maintained.
Not to mention the fact that it's a nice place to keep going back to and keep on good terms with them. Sort of makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. Though saying that, I wouldn't mind getting a small group together again and going back to the bunkhouse, like the proper bunkhouse, like the first Wild North. Just
that would be nice to visit again.
Yeah, not a con. Just can we just go chill? Because that was immensely fun.
Yeah, maximum like a dozen. Well, we had a dozen people that time, for the trial run. You could probably fit a few more people in there. Well, I think maybe if you were children, teenagers. For having a dozen adults, that was quite comfortable, quite cozy. So yeah, if a few people wanted to go along for that, so certainly a possibility for the future.
Plus, we go back to the Alex Food Market like we did that first time and get all the tasty things.
Oh my god, that market in Alec! Oh, there's so many good things.
Yeah, I remember getting a full bottle of cider from there.
I was
like a proper wine bottle size.
Oh, yeah, I got like so much nice stuff for like my gran and my mother as well. And it's just like it was just nice.
Northumbrian cheese.
Yes.
Around the market, in fursuit, being aminal people and everybody.
Oh yes, because we had the arrangement the market. The was it from the Lions or the Rotary?
Lions, I think.
Yeah,
it was Lions.
Who basically ran the food festival. And then mascot was a lion as well, but the thing was that the Lions Club. So I spoke with them and they let us change in their hall to the fursuits, and then we had some time going around the market and meeting people. Went to like the front Bannock Castle, as you said earlier, and yeah, that was like really fun as well.
Plus, I got to be a rat and go to all the cheese stalls in the market. This makes me happy.
And I kept telling them off because the fun part was I didn't have Kivuli with me because I didn't think I'd be suiting. But I borrowed Zach and just kept being Zach at you and telling you off.
That's Tyde. No, you're going to clarify.
To clarify for the people who don't know that, Zach is the hyena fursuit, right? Which thankfully mostly fit Kiev as well. So you were able to sort of sub in with that one.
Yeah, and it worked pretty well because I can sort of get the characteristic down. Sort of. Nowhere near as good as you. Nowhere near as good.
He's practiced.
I am aware that I'm known at several meets now as the one with the laugh.
Oh god, that laugh! Oh god, it gives me chills.
There it is.
It carries well.
It really does. I remember Popper Ram's just saying, I remember Popper being Ram because I never suit.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, I borrowed Ram's fursuit. I remember it was like the first time fursuiting since my own fursuit got stolen from the Manchester summer party that year. So I really appreciate that.
Well, it was on the train, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was basically just nabbed off the train at Macclesfield, and I'd never seen it since. But I have a new fursuit now, and I love it to bits. So
yeah, and it looks amazing. Like,
thanks. And thanks, Snow Griffin.
Yeah, Snow Griffin suit. Oh no! I just want to go to a proper convention now. I'm enjoying this, but it's like, can I go like a mini confuzzled or something, please?
I know what you mean, and it's nice, but they're not the same.
Is that the
reason we
same?
put this whole thing together is because we miss seeing people. We know everyone else miss seeing everybody else. So this is kind of like the best we can do.
Yeah, this is the best we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, if people want to send a picture of their face, I'll stick them on screen. Here's everybody.
Alex Fly mentioned garden cons. I think even that's not going to be a possibility.
Yeah, you can't have a garden con at the minute. No more than 6 people. You can't go across households. This extra restrictions suck. But yeah, fursuit theft is not fun. Yeah,
When it's all started.
Just fortunate that not only will we be living together, but we just got engaged as well. So,
The first week in the attic, poison god. So I was going to go for the treehouse. We have a treehouse in the
Treehouse con.
yeah, it's like a restaurant. But yeah, let's have a con there.
I'm sorry, I just love that. I just love that idea now. Just like one of those like massive trees in like the Amazon or something like that. Just a huge tree. It's just a massive tree house on top, and that's the convention space. I
That's
would
basically what the treehouse is.
yep. I'm not picturing that, but we're all firstly just having bungee cords because if I can't see where the edge is, they can still boing back up.
just spring back up. Oh, I'm back.
Oh.
Hang on, I just need to nip to the car. Boing. That'd be one way to get back up. Ram will take a pass. He doesn't like heights.
Don't worry, Ram. We can just blindfold you. You won't know you're up there.
How would it get him? Yeah, how would it get him up there without him knowing?
I'm Brew.
I
You know him to top of Iron Brew.
mean, would that work? I don't know. It never happened. No, we've got a definitive no on the Iron Brew.
Alright, so that's a picture of the treehouse as an alternative location.
Right, so our venue for next year as well, North, is that true?
Jesus, that's big.
It does look like a cool location, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I would
It
happily.
is. I know it's like a restaurant. I also know it's like a wedding venue and so on as well. Because, funnily enough, I was looking at wedding venues recently, and that was one of the ones that came up on the searches.
I wonder why that is.
I can't imagine.
Oh yeah, and Devices posting in the Discord for those. Also, Devices Puzzle the Cheater posting in the Discord the medieval covers of songs. So medieval cover of the Final Countdown. Oh, and I'm also seeing pictures from the actual like first Wild North as well.
Yeah, you should look at that.
Yeah. God, memories. Oh, Reaper, do not post the fish and chips. That's just teasing.
Ah, no!
That's just mean. You don't do that. I want the fish and
I don't
chips.
even eat fish, and I'm just missing the atmosphere.
The atmosphere.
and the Fentimans.
We all
Fentimans!
miss the
What?
Let's keep up the Fentimans.
Oh, and I do here as well, yes.
Am I the only one that doesn't have Fentimans? It feels like I'm the only one.
We're not rubbing it in at all, honest.
I hate you. It feels like you're rubbing it in.
We will acquire you a ginger beer at some point in the months to follow.
But I want it now. Or mead. Give me some mead. I don't even have mead.
Oh, we have mead as well. I still got that
You
black
both don't
Shelby as
drink.
well.
You're both like non-alcoholic. This is unfair. You've got my mead.
Your me's my me's.
I've got to stop looking at the Discord because I just see literally just fish and chips. I'm like, damn it, I've got to stop. Keep teasing myself.
I'm gonna need to eat very soon because I need food and
They're also closing soon. I might ask you for some other thing. Make sure it doesn't chew the cables anymore.
Yeah, Peaches, you're not too far from where we usually host the con. I said it's Featherstone Castle, so even if you go to the nearby train station in Haltwhistle, what we did last year was had like a shuttle service of people just go and pick the people up from the station. So you don't even really have to
so it's probably half and half. Yeah. Half and half of people who came in cars and people who came by train. So myself in the van and Ram as well, just driving back and forth, collecting people from Haltwhistles. And a couple of people came from the West Midlands. One guy came from Birmingham. Someone else came from Staffordshire. So people do come from the West Midlands. Basically make your way to either Newcastle, Carlisle, then inland towards Haltwhistle, and we'll pick up from there. So it's certainly reachable, and we'll certainly help you to get there.
I say, and plus you'll probably have several other people joining you via train as well, so they're heading the same route.
Yeah, which would be good. Also, I should point out, it should have really been mentioned. I was just being assumptive, but the picture you're seeing at the background of like this screen, that is our venue. I should point that out. That is Featherstone Castle. That's not just a random picture I've grabbed. That is where we go. And it is okay. When you first go in and try and find your way around, it's so confusing. You do not know which way is what.
It's so much fun.
But seeing it for the first time, actually driving in, was just amazing.
Oh yeah, because it's got like a properly like archway coming in, its own little drive as well. It's awesome.
People are familiar. Well,
it's first arriving, you realise that's our venue.
Yeah, when you suddenly realize, wait, we're here.
Yeah. So pretty much everyone here is familiar with the Red Wolf theme. Several times I've gone driving down that driveway and through the countryside, and then up to the castle. The Red Wolf theme has been going through my mind.
Yeah.
That can't be brain for so long.
A couple of other people saying like their location as well. Sunderland, that's
that's pretty close
down the road. Northwest, just again to help to Carlisle, and then into Haltwhistle. Somerset. We have people come from Kent. A couple of people actually came all the way from Kent. I've got people coming from Norway as well. They were talking about coming this year. Someone in Colorado as well mentioned they're interested in coming along in the future. So,
wow.
We can see people from further afield, and in terms of getting the final few miles, we'll absolutely come and collect you and bring you along.
Definitely 100%. Oh.
You'll be greeted plenty.
Yes. Be introduced to, which should also explain is also from Northumberland. It's just down the road from the castle, a little town called Hexham. That's where they make that. And so again, that's a local drink.
A tasty one.
For local furs.
Very, very tasty one. I don't think there's any of the drinks I don't like. Yeah, every one of the drinks I've had, I've enjoyed. So, but the colour is the best, without a doubt.
So much sugar.
Well, the Curiosity Cola.
Yeah, Curiosity Cola. Miku Hexham represent. Yeah, because Miku's from Hexham.
Oh, so you'll know all about yes, Fearless House. Yeah, we got from Sheffield as well. Not been to that part of the world for a little while. We're a friend of ours in Wakefield as well. We can go and see him sometime.
When we can.
Yeah, when we can as well. Yeah.